Hey guys, thank you once again just for tuning in to this YouTube channel. We are in the month of May. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, so tune in to this video on just one particular way that is really strong on how to conquer your mental health woes. I was kind of going back and forth about what I wanted to talk about this month. There are just so many things to talk about. In this particular video, I want to share with you guys one practice that has really just changed my life, and that practice is exercising an attitude of gratitude. Now, I know that it sounds pretty mundane, but you know, I have gone through my ups and downs of different feelings, like feeling lost, feeling anxious, feeling scared, especially with everything that's been going on in my body that I shared with you guys earlier in the update. You know, there is no stranger feeling to be in your body and not feel like you have ownership over it. And having those feelings just makes you feel just out of control. But one thing that I've discovered, and it has taken time to really develop this attitude, is having an attitude of gratitude really shifts your perspective. No, it doesn't just magically make money appear or magically just solve all of your problems, but what an attitude of gratitude really does, it just really opens our eyes to life beyond our problems. And this has just helped me in some of my darkest days. There have been times in my life where I really just felt like, you know, things weren't going to work out in my life. I'm like, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to manage my kids? How, you know, I don't feel good. Like, what is going on? Like, how am I going to do all those things? And in those instances, just thinking back and practicing about everything in my life, past or present, that I'm grateful for, helps me to really not just focus on the negative things, but really focus on the positive things in life as well. You know, sometimes in life, we are so busy by that job that sometimes we don't take time to be grateful that we actually have a job, especially during the pandemic. And being grateful that we have a job, especially during these times, will shift our perspective. Instead of focusing on how bad that job is, it helps us appreciate what we really have. Now, I know that, you know, a lot of people say a lot of just different things about practicing just gratefulness or having an attitude of gratitude. And it really is a mindset. I've seen a lot of little different memes or people saying that you should put this and that in practice. But let me tell you, just from one person who's gone through it, been through a lot of things in life, to other people who are going through a lot of similar things. It's just that, you know, there are nights that I'm restless and I cannot sleep. And at those times, I just start to rehearse things that I'm grateful for. And, you know, I'm a believer in God. So when I say it, I'm like, you know, thank you, God. I even tell God thank you every time I see my kids squat down, because my knees don't do that. So I look at them and I'm like, you know, God, you're amazing. Like, maybe I can't do that, but I see you in my children, and I see the brightness and the joy in the world that my children bring to me. You know, I question God, like, in just the timing. You know, maybe you don't believe in God, or you believe in just life or some kind of greater force. And for me, I really was like, God, why did you bring me these kids at this particular time in my life? I wasn't ready financially. I was going through things in my marriage and just all of these different things. And I was just like, God, like, what is your plan? Like, why did you do that? But I look at my kids and I'm just so abundantly grateful to be their mom. And I see just the wonder in their eyes. And I see why, you know, if you want to call it life or God brought me them at the time that everything happened. Because, like I said, when I see them bending their knees, I'm just like, you know what, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that my kids are healthy. I'm thankful that my kids are alive. I'm thankful that I'm alive and I woke up. And maybe I don't feel the best today, but I'm thankful that I'm able to walk when they said I wasn't going to be able to do it unassisted. And that's what makes me even more grateful about my kids. They told me I can have them. So I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful to have such a wonderful husband. I'm grateful that my marriage lasted throughout the pandemic when so many people were getting divorced. So like I said, I've had my fair share of just things in life not going the way that I wanted to. Trust me, I know, and I've been there. But I'm just saying, this mental health month, why don't we try to switch our perspective? No, it doesn't make the depression or the anxiety or any of those feelings just magically go away. But it definitely helps us find joy in places where we didn't think that they existed. Gratefulness is just such a powerful tool. It's free. It's free therapy that we can do for ourselves. It's free self-care, just to really have an attitude of gratitude. And you know what? When we have an attitude of gratitude, that energy, that positive vibe flows to so many other different people. It flows to our kids, our spouses, and just everything. And sometimes when we don't feel like we're grateful even within ourselves for something, just us telling somebody else, you know what? I'm grateful for you. Husband, I'm grateful for you. Wife, I'm grateful for you. Friend, I'm grateful for you. A lot of times when we tell people that we appreciate them, they start to pour back into us. And sometimes when we can't pour into ourselves, the best thing that we can do is pour into someone else who eventually will pour back into us. And I know sometimes it just sounds kind of corny or cliche or anything like that, but just know that in those times where you feel that, you know, life is just too much, take a moment, take a pause, meditate, and begin to just think about all the things that you're grateful for. And maybe it's not in the time of meditation. Sometimes we have to get out a pen and paper and write those things down so that we always have a reminder as to, yes, life is hard, but look how far I've come. Look how bright of a future I have. Yes, this is just a season. We are in a season. And let me tell you, I'm sharing this with you guys because I had to remind myself of this too recently. You know, my husband right now, he's not at work because of a work injury. He's not getting paid. I'm not making money. Like, you know, we've been going through it. But at the end of the day, I'm grateful for all the smiles that my kids put on my faces, every corny dad joke my husband comes up with. You know, life is more than just finances, or life is more than just our jobs and all these things that we say that qualify us to success. Like, we're more than just that. You know, we're complex human beings with complex emotions. But sometimes we get so focused on success. We get so focused on trying to succeed or be the best that we don't take the time out just to appreciate life as it is. Like I said, I've been doing this exercise of just gratefulness and learning to have an attitude of gratitude regardless of what life looks like for quite some time. And it takes time to develop that mindset. And I'll be honest with you, even though I have that mindset when I'm going through something, that is not always my first response. My first response is not to be grateful for the thing that I'm going through. Like, my first response oftentimes is frustration. But then I'm like, you know what? This isn't me. This isn't who I am. I don't want to be frustrated. I don't want to live life frustrated. I want to live life as freely as I can. And in order for me to do so, I have to center myself. And the number one way that I've learned to center myself, like I said, is just to really tune in and be grateful. It's free therapy, it's free self-care, and although it seems so minute and small to do, it really opens up your world and your mind to everything else. And life is all about perspective. Now just imagine how quickly our world can change just by shifting our perspective. How quickly that business idea will come to you. How quickly that new blog post or content or connection or anything like that will come to us just by us learning to be grateful and shifting our perspective. So thank you guys just for your time. I hope that this reached your heart. And if it did, make sure you like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I have so much more to share with you guys. Thank you. And remember that this Mental Health Month, let's end the stigma of mental health. We've all gone through things. Whether you know it or not, we've all probably experienced some form of depression and anxiety in our lifetime. So let's remember to be kind, to love, and always cherish one another. And remember, no matter what you're going through, encourage yourselves, encourage each other, that you are stronger than you feel.